Well, we're still working with arithmetic series. And in this example, which is example 5 on page 668, find the first three terms. We're being asked to find the first three terms of an arithmetic series, and we're given some data. Let's see. So what we've been given what the sum of the series is, which is 120. And we've been given what n, the value for n, total number of terms in this series, 8. And we've been given the last term in this series, or last known term, an, which is 36. Now, in order to find what the first three terms of each of an arithmetic series is, we've got to find what the first term is, and we've got to find what the common difference is. And the way we're going to start doing this, first we're going to find what a1 is by plugging it in to our partial sum of arithmetic series equation, which again is Sn equals n times a1 plus an over 2. And so here again, we can use this to find a1. Let's plug in what we do know. Sn is 120, and n is equal to 8. And then we've got a1, which is our unknown at this point, plus 36. And I'm going to split this into two fractions right now. I'm going to put a1 over 2 plus 36 over 2. I can do that because I got it's a denominator for both the a1 and the an. It's going to make my calculations easier. So let's see, we got 120. I'm going to leave my 8 out here. So I'm going to have a1 over 2 plus, well, 36 divided by 2 is 18. Okay, we got 120. Now let's distribute this 8 to the two terms inside this parentheses. So a1 over 2 times 8 is going to be 4a1. That'd be 8a1 over 2. I can go ahead and factor out the 2. So I got 4a1. And let's see, 8 times 18. 8 times 18. Let's see. Yep, 144. Plus 144. And we're going to subtract 144 from both sides. So that's going to be negative 24. Equals 4a1, and divide by 4, and so negative 6, our a1 is going to be negative 6. All right, now we can plug this back in. Now we got an, we got a1, we know what n is, and we could plug that back into our finding our nth term series to figure out what our common difference is. So let's do that. So again, that formula is an equals a1 plus n minus 1 times d. We'll plug in what we know. An is 36. A1 we have calculated to be negative 6 plus n is 8. 8 minus 1 d. And we got 36. We're trying to solve for d so we can get the first three terms. We know the first term, which is negative 6. We figured that through our sum formula. Let's see, we got negative 6. 8 minus 1 plus 8 minus 1 is 7. 7d. All right, we're going to add 6 to both sides. So that's 42 equals 7d. Divide 7 both sides. And we find that our common difference is in fact 6. D is 6. And so if we're going to do the first three terms, well, negative 6 plus 6, we got negative 6 as our first term. And negative 6 plus 6 is 0. And 0 plus 6 is 6. And so given the fact that the sum of the series is 120, and the number of terms in the series is 8, and the last term in the series is 36, we calculated what the first term of the series is, which is negative 6. Then we calculated our common difference. and we just simply added our common difference to the first term and each successive term to come up with our first three terms. And shazam, there they are. Okay, we're still being asked to find the first three terms of a series. We've been given a little bit of data here. We've been given what A1 is, which is negative 24. And we've been given AN, which is 288. And we've been given the sum of the series, which is 5,280. Now, two things that we don't know, that we need to know in order to find the first three terms. First, we don't know how many terms there are in the series between negative 24 and 288 that could possibly add up to 5,280. And we need to know the number of terms in order to find the common difference. And once we get the common difference, we can apply it to A1 and pretty easily at that point provide the first three terms. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're first going to find for n using our sum formula. So we got Sn, let me write it again. Sn, this is the general formula, times n times A1 plus An over 2. So Sn is 5,280. N is what we're trying to find at the moment. A1 is negative 24 plus An, which is 288 over 2. And we got 5,280 equals N. Let's see, negative 24 and plus 288. I think it's going to be 264 over 2. And 5,280 equals N times, let's see, 264. I don't really need that parentheses after I solve this. 264 is, we got 132 N. And we can finish off solving for N by dividing 5,280 by 132. 5280 divided by 132 equals 40. So 40 equals N. Now we can use this to go back to our finding the nth term equation to find our common difference. So here again we got An. Let's put this in a different color. How about it? Just so we don't get confused. We got An equals A1 plus N minus 1 D. We're going to be solving for D. An we know is 288. A1 they gave us is negative 24 plus N we calculated and found, which was 40 minus 1 D. And we got 288 equals negative 24 plus 39D. 39 minus 1, 39D. I can get rid of that parentheses right there. So let's see, we're going to add 24 to both sides. So we got 288 plus 24 equals 312 equals 39D. Let's divide 312 by 39. And that we find that our common difference, or D, is 8. And now we're ready to provide the first three terms. So our first term we were given, which is negative 24. So we got negative 24. And negative 24 plus 8 is going to be negative 16. And negative 16 plus 8 is going to be 8. And guess what we got? We got the first three terms. We are such tremendous mathematicians.